proudly shining your light. July 30, 2014. When you can surrender the mind and ego to the flow of energy and information you're being given from the higher realms, you'll see that striving has never been inherently required to find the higher state of consciousness you seek. You'll see that little is required beyond the surrender of the lower facets of your consciousness that would keep you held back forever if they were allowed, and you'll see that simply retreating into the flow of higher vibrational information energy is among the best things you can do for yourselves. Surrendering the mind and adopting the ability to live from a constant, loving space will help you make the flowing connections so many of you want to make, and after so long of finding and acting on these connections, they'll eventually flow in an unprecedented way. You'll be able to pick up on the energies and impressions you're being given with a degree of ease, because you'll see that you are and have always been receptors for the energy of the divine. You'll see that in many cases, the very purpose of your existence on the earth is to bring through and transmit the energies of the higher realms, and many of you will delightfully embrace this role as you delve deeper and deeper into your sacred center. Potent abilities. Now that so many of you are finding the higher vibration you've sought for so long, your resulting divine abilities will become much more potent and far-reaching than they have so far. Commitment and dedication to the process of expressing these abilities will be important, and if you aren't committed to your creative works, they won't strengthen in the way so many of you are ready for them to. Your creativity is more beautiful than we could express, and even though some of you have ego-driven barriers to work through that tend to distort the purity of your creations or keep you from finding and acting on the flowing perception you're ready to act on, we will say that creativity is a natural aspect of your entrance into a higher state of consciousness. You're creative beings by nature, and the energy you hold within is intended to be used for a wealth of greater creative roots that, for the most part, many of you don't realize you're going to embark on. If you could only see how bright your future is, and how different it'll be from what many people on your planet expect, you'd understand that everything is and has always been okay. Despite the undue pressure so many of you tend to put on yourselves, your future is more than assured as long as you can find and remain in your center in the face of temptation to feed into the lower state of consciousness that seems all too common on the earth. Realizing that your existence is perfect just the way it is, will be the first step to finding the happiness and wholeness so many of you seek, and when you can lay down the perceived need to strive to make your lives better than they already are, you'll see that such striving was never necessary. Rather, surrendering to the flow of energy and experience will open your eyes to the divinity and perfection of your existence as it currently stands, and like plenty of other things, what you choose to believe is incredibly important. If you can believe your lives are already perfect and heavenly, they naturally will be. If you're willing to believe something's missing from your lives that you must endlessly strive to attain, you'll find that you create this reality for yourselves because, as we and plenty of others have said, you're very powerful beings of creator energy. Your power goes beyond any attempt we or anyone else could make to describe it, and realizing just how powerful you are, is the first step to accessing your power in a real and pure way. When you can see that every bit of energy and inspiration you've convinced yourselves is missing actually isn't, you'll see that all along, you could have tapped into and utilized your greater creativity for your benefit and that of the conscious public. We note that expressing your creativity can cause a profound sense of joy and wholeness, and this is because you're beings of creator energy who are meant to create to your heart's content. You aren't limited in terms of the things you can create, and the souls on your world who seem particularly inspired, have tapped into the creative, energetic source that you can all tap into, and produce flowing creations with. Illusory separation from oneself as source. The lower dimensions you're housed in were created by you for the purpose of learning and enjoyment, and even though many souls on your planet and on other lower dimensional worlds have become lost in the extreme darkness you'd created for yourselves, more souls are turning toward the light every day, and, in doing so, they're exiting the self-created prisons they've been trapped in. The lower vibrations entail illusory separation from oneself as the source of all existence. But now that many of you are realizing the illusory nature of this separation, you're reclaiming your constant connection with Source and, again, venturing further into your sacred center, vastly affecting and uplifting waves of other seekers in the process. Our scribe is reaching a place where he simply wants to express love, not any varying shade of love, but pure, unbridled love. He and plenty of other seekers want this to be reflected in the things they create, and the work they do to help humanity become aware. A growing number of conscious seekers are ready to see love trickle through to the minds and hearts of humanity, and after this initial trickle, we can envision waves of love flooding the collective consciousness and affecting the minds and hearts of every earthly soul who still doesn't realize what love truly is. On your planet, love is seen in a distorted light. Love is minimized to romance and other similar, limiting themes, but when you're back in a higher state of consciousness, you'll see that love is and has always been the Creator's tool, which she has used in accordance with each of you to create every lower dimension we're all incarnate in. In fact, it goes deeper than this. Source is love, and each of us is an embodiment of this love. We're each sparks of Source's infinite and omnipotent love, and as your vibration continues to rise, you'll realize this and seek to connect with yourselves and the Creator in a much deeper way. You'll see that you're a pure embodiment of love, and to cut yourselves off from this love would be akin to cutting yourselves off from oxygen. You need love and the uplifted feelings and emotions that come with it to spiritually survive, and while you can physically survive without love, you won't live a very enjoyable life. The souls on your planet and elsewhere who are cut off from the sacred love of their existence are still very much alive and conscious, but they're blocked from the greatest and most uplifting source they could have ever perceived. They're cut off from their Creator, and this misconnection can cause a lot of negativity and selfishness, as many awakening seekers have noticed. When you cut yourselves off from love in any way, you'll notice that something seems missing. Many souls seek to fill the void with material things that don't satisfy as much as the love you're rediscovering, and in time, all of humanity will realize that the pursuit of materiality isn't nearly as helpful as the pursuit of the higher vibration descending down to humanity's minds and hearts. The entirety of the company of heaven watches you attempt to reclaim your love, and again, we recommend realizing that it already exists within, and that you don't need to strive to reclaim it. All you need to do is call it forth from within and open your minds, and you'll find that it flows very purely and potently. You're being given an immense amount of assistance with doing this, and we're assisting you with every pursuit that helps you find and act on your inner love. Eventually, after you traverse various higher dimensions, you'll reach the unflinchingly pure realms of Source and merge with our Creator, becoming all that is, instead of remaining separate from Source. We certainly haven't reached such a stage yet, but we, like many of you, constantly work on raising our vibration and discovering what the next, purer state of consciousness will offer. A journey inward. The journey to Source is a journey inward, and the deeper you go, the further you travel into yourselves and the more you're able to commune with Source. If you want to make this connection, understand that everything you experience is Source. However difficult it might currently seem to speak with our Creator, you can do so by interacting with anything and everything around you. Everything you perceive in your internal and external realities is composed of the pure vibrations of Source, and when you realize this, we think you'll find it very easy to connect with our Creator and reap the flowing benefits of such a connection. For now, we encourage you to focus on connecting with your higher selves and whichever guides you feel closest with, and once you're fully connected with your higher selves, you'll receive a wealth of valuable advice and guidance that'll help you connect with Source in an even purer way than you already can. We're rooting for humanity to continue raising your vibration and using the light you've come to the earth with to help uplift it and its people, and we'll make our final expressions for this communication with an overflowing bounty of love and appreciation for your divinely inspired efforts. We'll continue to congratulate you for everything you've done, and we'll happily highlight your efforts whenever we get the chance because we're truly proud of you for the things you've achieved. Many of us thought your missions on the earth were quite foolhardy, as other channeled sources have said, Because of the potential, you still have to fall into darkness in any moment. However, you're proving that you're more than up for the task, and in the face of immense darkness, you're proudly shining your light. Your continuance is more important to the Earth's ascension than we can express, and you're encouraged to keep strong in the face of the seemingly unrelenting lower vibrations. Thank you to my higher self and spiritual guides. Channeled through Wes Anak. cultureofawareness.com